What's up everyone, Steve here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about myself, a little bit about Pokemon, a little bit about selling, about the channel, about a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, I really have no topic planned for this video, but I've been sitting here writing on sleeves, doing some inventorizing, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'll explain why I do this and what I'm doing it for and what I hope to achieve, and I'm just going to talk and ramble for about, I don't know, hopefully an hour, but you never know how long these things can go. I hope you're going well. I did check today. I was like, I haven't done a video in a while, and I've been sitting here just writing on sleeves. Now I'm going to explain what I'm doing just so everyone understands what's going on. So we list cards. We're trying a little bit of a different system than we would usually use. And we're using a SKU system, so an SKU. So this SKU is MS, and these are all cards numbered 1 to around 107. So these are the MS cards skewed, and I would have to number them from 1 to 107. There are other ways you can skew things. You don't have to write MS. You can just have anything you want. You can put the date. You can do anything. But the reason why we do this is so when I list them, I'll use MT for an example. Put this here. Now I really hope I don't make mistakes while doing this. This is why I tried to do this offline a little bit and tried to not do this on camera. Because if I make a mistake, it's going to be really bad for the people that buy off me. So I'm trying to limit the amount of mistakes that people that buy off me when I do these videos. But I got to put something up. So here's pretty much what I do. I just get the top card and write 1. Now Kim, when she does this, I guess I put it there for you, but yeah, I'll put it here. But you know the one's there. Kim, she puts them all on the table first and she writes on them. There's no right or wrong way of how to write on a card sleeve. And the reason why we write on them, we don't use stickers, we don't use anything else, is this is pretty much the fastest way. There's no real place I've found numbered sleeves or numbered this or numbered that. I have been researching, so if you do find a place that has numbered sleeves, I would love to buy them. It would save me a lot of time from writing on them. And the numbers, they don't need to be perfect. This isn't, I'm not getting graded on this. We re-sleeve the cards when we send them out, so people don't get like this card that says like 11 on it, or 12 or 13, and it's just a little bit confusing. But this is pretty much it. I mean, I would normally go a little bit faster than this, but for the sake of the video, and my mind's going to be a little bit everywhere today, this is, yeah. So you can see there's a lot of duplicates here. There was a time I was doing variation listings, and I still will do variation listings, and it was for my single card eBay store, but I'm just playing around with this other style listing. It's pretty much just mass listings, multiple cards, I guess. So they're going to have 8 listings for these oddish cards rather than 1, because I already have these oddish cards listed on variations. I could just add another 10 to the variation, but I feel like for me, I would probably benefit more if I added 8 more single card listings and then also had the variation. So I have a little bit of best of both worlds sort of thing. And they all do get it listed with individual photos and everything like that. No big deal. It's a lot faster to list when you do like 10 things of the same kind at the same time. So if you're wondering why sellers do this, it's pretty much easier for the sellers. And if you're a seller wondering why I do this, it's a lot more time efficient for yourself. So, and the reason why I number them rather than just like going off the condition is they're all pretty similar condition. I like to list things in batches. So every single card here is light play. So let me show you an example. I mean, some of them are probably near mint, to be honest, but let me get this. Light play. How can I show this? This card looks gem mint, doesn't it? Maybe there's a little bit of something somewhere. Oh yeah. Oh, that card's damaged. What's going on there? Oh, this is a horrible video already. Okay, I'm just gonna blame Kim for this one. Honestly, I'd say that card's light play. So this card has a few little indents there. That's light play, I guess. I mean, by eBay standards, honestly, I'm gonna write a note on this. I'll put this up as MP. That's horrible. I've already ruined the video, but make sure I change that one to MP. Oh my god, as if the card I pull out is already damaged. So yeah, I didn't realize they were there when I checked it first time around, but most of these should have, let me pick up another card, just forget that happened. A little bit of edge wear here and there. Nothing crazy around the spot, just a bit of wear. Not near mint, not quite damaged, unlike that one. I'm trying to go with eBay's definitions when I'm listing my own single cards. And I'm sure if you look up eBay's light play, they say you can have dents and stuff like that. But, I think we can all agree that's probably not light play. Anyway, so The reason why I do this, when I sell a card, eBay will go, hey, that is the SKU MT, and it's number 9, and then I just go to place it in my boxes, MT number 9. Easy does it. So that's pretty much it. Blow on them. Sometimes you'll see me blowing a lot in this video because I love blowing, and it just dries out the ink, and I just pick them up like this. I just get like the corner of the card sleeve, just slide it underneath, and just picks up the next card rather easily. There we go. Now turn these over. I'm trying to make sure I do this without ruining them. So we're up at 23. Get my stack, and we start 24. So how am I going? I'm going not too bad. You know, this channel has been a godsend for me, honestly, from not only myself, my mental well-being. I mean, it's been great to just come on here, get a little bit out of my shell, because you know, if you haven't noticed, I'm a little bit special. I'm a little bit special, you know. There's something wrong with me, I think, but yeah, it's been nice to get out of my shell with this channel and really do things I normally never would do. I don't want to say I'm a private person, but I like to think of myself as having a little bit of privacy. But it's not always a good thing, you know, hiding yourself away in the world. And I'm someone who probably, if I don't have to go outside for like a month, I probably wouldn't go outside if I had the choice. So this is not a bad thing for me to kind of go outside online, I guess, if you really think about it. And, you know, when I first made the channel, I just made like silly little 1-minute videos, just whatever came up in my brain that day. They ranged from really silly to just kind of serious, but had a little bit of advice behind them. Because you know, I've been selling for a long time, and I've been talking to people for a long time. I've been in, I guess, communities for a long time, and I've been getting asked questions for a long time, and I've never really had an issue with it. Apart from the very obvious questions that I usually do get an issue with, people just like, they're just slandering me if I don't give them the recipe to the KFC recipe, basically. The recipe to the 7 secret spices, which might not even exist. They probably just use like oregano and chives and shit like that. But other than that, I don't mind questions, and I've always been happy to answer them. But as the questions get more and more, sometimes a little bit more in depth, just a blank text answer, and sometimes I might be busy on a certain day and I can't sit there and explain it. I decided, you know, I can make videos based off the questions people give me, because, you know, there's usually a chance that someone else will have the same question. And I think, hey, that's double-edged sword. That's usually a bad thing, but in this case, I have the sword, and it has 2 edges because I'm really good at wielding swords. And I don't even know what that means, but, you know, I can make some content out of it, and I can put it on my YouTube channel, and that'll give myself exposure for everything. So, yeah, I started doing that a lot. A lot of people ask me about eBay store and everything. Oh, I forgot to say the reason why I don't mind answering questions, and I don't take payments, and I don't, you know, take sponsors or anything like that, is I already ruined that 57, whatever. The problem is I need to make these neat enough so Kim can read them, and if I don't make them neat, she gets really mad at me, which is also kind of funny if you really think about it. So, yeah, that's all right. Get back. You know, I don't take sponsors. I actually just turned off my memberships today because I don't give any membership exclusive content. There realistically is no reason for me to accept money from other people when I don't plan on giving them anything special. There's hundreds of people out there who want memberships and they give special stuff. Blow on these. But I don't really, I don't, like, what am I going to do? Accept money just from random strangers when I literally have, like, I have so much money I don't even know what to do with it these days. Like, what? I'm not gonna sit here and just brag about how much money I have all the time, but like, I can't accept money from people who also support my store, and then they give me money just because I make a stupid YouTube video. Like, YouTube pays me the money for the videos. You know, I feel like that's a fair exchange. I feel like if you make the content and you get paid by the ads and then paid by the amount of people that watch, if it's good content, more people will watch it. If it's bad content, less people will watch it. Or if it's not as interesting or the topic's not exciting, you'll probably get less watches as well, even if it is good content. So, you know, and I'm happy with the amount that I get from YouTube. I mean, shit, where's my phone? Oh, I had it here for the video. I don't know where it is, but I was going to show. I think I get around like $10 to $20 a day. Usually goes up to $20 per day after I make a video. Then it'll go down. But on average, I residually get around $10 a day from YouTube, which honestly, if you ask me, that's a shitload of money. Like, I haven't posted a video for 2 weeks and I got $140. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, I'm blessed the fact that people want to click on the videos. Like, yeah, I made the content and yeah, it's enjoyable and people want to watch it, but like that is just, I already did the thing. So regardless if people watch it or not, the thing's done. So yeah, I mean, shout out to the professional content makers that actually do that for a living. It's very impressive. But I think I just heard a cat meow. Ugh. My dog's going crazy right now as well, so hopefully you can't hear that. But, you know, so I've turned off those. Not a big deal. If you ever need help, feel free to reach out. I'm not gonna tell you that you have to subscribe to my membership if you know want a question answered. That's just crazy. I mean, what are these people on these days? I've been deep diving a little bit recently into Pokemon investing content. I have a lot of people messaging me on Instagram about Pokemon investing, and not in the way that you guys normally would think. And I do have another video planned for this topic. I'm going to talk about it a little bit and then move on to whatever else is going on to my brain. But basically, every few people I'm talking to, they've bought into this whole, like, you know, mass buy every booster box you can possibly think of, and then, yeah, you're going to get some kind of crazy wealth. But they're finding it to be very, what's the word we're looking for? It's not very fulfilling. They find the fact that it's very boring, and, you know, a lot of anyone can sit there and go like, yeah, anyone could have told you that. It's like, you know, it's not very helpful if someone comes to me and, you know, they have grievances with what's happening with themselves, and I just could have said, I told you so. I mean, that's not really how you help people. So as good as like that could be of an answer to give to someone, unfortunately, that's not the way we need to think about things as humans, because, you know, we're all just whatever. And there's a lot of people out there that don't have anywhere near as much money to be able to take losses, or like leave it sitting, or not enjoy it, or they need to sell to buy something else that they really like. I mean, the privileges that I might have, others might not, and I could have to try my best to try and help them out. So basically, the majority of the questions I would get were based around like, they've bought, they've held 1, 2, 3 years. The gains they're happy with the gains, but it's all like, I call them Excel spreadsheet gains. They're called spreadsheet gains to me, because a lot of these people go, look, the TCG player price on this box is up, and this is up, and that's up. And, you know, no one's ever really selling. Everyone just like goes to work, gets their paycheck, and just keeps buying. And that's great. You know, if you're happy and you don't want to sell and you want to buy and hold for a very long time. Some of us, like me included, I have to sell because I don't work a normal job, so I have to sell cards. I would love to sit here and keep all these Wigglytuffs and Hoot Hoots, but unfortunately, I need to sell them so I can be able to buy more. And if I stop selling them, I will not be able to buy them. So yeah, most of the questions that I'm getting around the subject aren't from people asking me about investing, because anytime anyone does, I just tell them to look it up on YouTube. It's just not something I'm interested in. But I am interested in helping people out who have gone like, okay, I've tried this, it's not working out for me. What can I do to like mitigate my losses? Like, I understand that I messed up and I want to do something else and I need the money and everything else. And, you know, it breaks my heart to hear people be like that. So the best I can do is give them an answer. So where was I? I've been on the tangent like 8 times now. So yeah, it's kind of rough. And, you know, that's what I said. I've been deep diving into some investment content to kind of like go online and actually kind of see what are these guys talking about. And there's a lot, like, I'm looking up the word Pokemon investing. I'm typing in new, and there's like 4, 5, 6 videos an hour from different people all around the world about investing. Buy this now. This one's going up. That one's the greatest. This is good. That one's... And it's just crazy. I mean, it's very, very easy if, you know, collectors, in my opinion, they're very easy to... Well, I am a part of it, right? We're very easy to convince that something's going to be great. We're very easy to convince and kind of compel to be like, you need this. Like FOMO, everything. I mean, I've succumbed to FOMO billions of times before, and I'm sure the next shiny thing will come out and I'll succumb to it again. I mean, I'm an idiot. Like, what else am I supposed to do? That's just what I do. That's what we do as people, as collectors. We're just idiots. So, I have no gripes with people that this happens to, but they said, they want to get more involved with their stuff and buying and then holding forever. And then the ones that they have held, they can't really sell them at the market price or whatever the TCG store is, because, no one wants to buy off random people. And whenever they take them to a store, they offer them like 20% lower than the already low market prices. Like, it's hard. They can't sell them on eBay, and when they did sell, they got like return cases, people saying that they're resealed, and there's a whole bunch of like, problems that can come with it. And I'm not a booster box selling expert. I've never claimed to be. I strictly avoid sealed, as in my opinion, it's probably one of the worst things you could ever try and get into, because the people with more money, more time, and more, I guess, resources are always going to beat you. And I still feel like that to this day with my own stuff. Like, even with where I am now, I feel like I'll get beaten even if I'll try. But it's just how it is. Being in Australia, it's kind of soured my mood a lot for sealed, because, it's so hard to get English sealed Pokemon here. We can't even buy it for like half the price that Americans can. Sometimes. And people, like, with the new introduction of like TikTok Shop and, all these other brand deals, I did a little bit of research, and everyone tells you, like, don't buy it from anywhere, buy them from, TikTok, or make sure you get this deal or you get that deal from this website. There's another one that's whatnot deals and everything. And I mean, that we don't really have access to that here, so that's just how it is. This light's really bright. Let me go like that. That's way better. Where are we? Oh, we're on MU now. See, this takes a long time to do this numbering, guys. This is not easy stuff. Well, not that it's not easy. It's just it's not fun. I already made a mistake. Number 4 actually was the mistake. This feels like the same cards I was doing before. I have way too many E-Series cards. I bought so much E-Series, and then like I went and bought more because I was just looking at it. And, I've been selling a few now because I'm finally getting to listing them. If you've been following the channel for a while, a lot of these E-Series cards are the ones I bought while I was in Japan. I bought them like online while I was in Japan. And yeah, that is another problem with being a card seller. Sometimes you don't have enough time. And I put, 35, 40,000 into a bunch of E-Series cards, and I just only now I'm getting through them. Only now I'm getting the grades back for some of the holos I sent in. So it's it's kind of hard to, like, when you don't have enough time and you're going through, because that was like what, 4 months ago, maybe 3 months ago. I mean, that's a lot of money just to be sitting around. If I put it in sealed, it might have tripled by now. So yeah, there's a lot of things. It's my mental is getting taken up a lot by this Pokemon investing thing. It's kind of making me sad a little bit. I shouldn't let things on the internet affect me. I mean, who does that? But like, I feel it's a very, life is about progress. Humans wake up every day. We look for progress, in my opinion, anyway. And I try to do that. I try to get a little bit of progress in on anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Honestly, it could be progress in anything. I have a box of cards I've been getting through every single day, regardless if it was my job or not. I would be doing it because I like listing cards. I like going through cards. I like touching them. I like writing numbers on them. And, I just sit there and I can just progress through cards, and I can feel happy that I've kind of achieved something that day or doing that certain thing. And yeah, I think progress is really important to stay connected and also stay involved with your hobby or with the thing that you're actually interested in. And I feel like a lot of people that do the buying and selling, all this will be in another video as well, probably. I'm just coming on here, getting some spitball thoughts out. And then if you guys have anything on this topic that you want to tell me, you want to talk about, feel free to message me, write in the comments, joke on Discord if you want to open Discord. If you're all open discourse, if you're also feeling this way, feel free to reach out and we can try to talk about some things. I do my best to try and help you if I can, but it's all about progress. And I feel like, when I'm selling singles or when I'm like running a store, when I'm doing these things, it's not, magnificent levels of money and value that the booster box people are showing off and everything. But even though I think I looked at almost 30 Pokemon investing channels, and not one of them one of them mentioned them selling. It was all look at the sold. Not one of them mentioned any that they've sold. And now I can understand that sounds kind of dumb. Like, why would they sell? They're investing. It's just like, when it comes to this pop culture and stuff and demand and everything, to really know how good something is, I'm about to blow your mind. To really know how good something is, you kind of need to be involved with it. And now the reason why I, like, as a store, I guess I can call myself a business, we sell probably around $70,000 to $80,000 a month. We've dropped off a little bit, but we try a little bit less hard. We don't spend anywhere near as much money as we used to. But probably like $70,000 a month in singles of graded and raw singles. Probably like 45 to 50 in graded, and like, 20 to 25 in singles. And, we don't sell any sealed, or, and if I do, it's very, very little. Or it's maybe a little bit older stuff and rarer stuff. And, I kind of get an idea of when I see something, or when I'm selling stuff, or people are asking me questions about certain cards or errors or things, I can get an idea of demand. I mean, demand is like super, super important. And you can't, obviously, demand is not something that I can be like, I can sell 100 of these a week because this is the demand for this item. It's not that easy for, trading cards, but I know on average E-Series cards are pretty popular, and a good condition E-Series card can fetch a little bit of money. And when I say a little bit of money, I'm talking like $5 to $15, and that's a lot of money for a Pokemon single card, especially when you multiply it by 100, 200, 300, 400. It can really get up there. So what I'm saying is that when I talk, especially I talk about a lot of the stuff that I'm actively doing, and I show a lot of the stuff that I'm actively doing, it can give merits to my claims. So when I make a video, because I'm not privy to not showing money and financials, I mean, I'm talking about them right now. But when I make a video showing off $10,000 worth of graded cards, or, I made this much money on this graded card, or this much profit, it's an actual, like, fact that happened. Like, I bought the card at a certain price, and I graded it, and it's valued at this. Obviously, I can't show off how much I sold the card for when I'm just getting it back in a graded return. That would be a little bit crazy. I should probably try and do something like that. That's a good idea. I'm going to change pens. So you got to constantly change pen because they dry out a whole lot. Like these Sharpies. Let me close this. Let me show these up for a second. So this is like a normal Sharpie, right? Sharpie permanent marker. They're really good. This is a Shuttle Art permanent marker. This, you can get 26 of them off Amazon. I think it's Amazon or Temu. I don't know where Kim buys his stuff from. But for the same price as 6 Sharpies, and they're basically the same, I prefer using the Shuttle Art pens personally. So, isn't that 6? I mean, that's value. So, yeah, we're going to talk about value soon. These are a crazy different pen to use. It's a lot sharper. It doesn't damage the cards writing on them like this, but, so where am I going? So, like, when I make claims, or when I give advice, or when I say something, everything comes from a little bit of experience. And now, that's why I don't make Pokemon investing content. It's not that I haven't put a lot of money into Pokemon over the years and held on to items, because I have. I've had certain things up to, I'm a store, so the aim is not to hold on to things. But just by being a collector and having things, I have held on to things. And I've had cards go from $100 to $3,000, or $50 to $500, or I've graded $10 singles. The first sale was $250 when it gets to 10. I've been privy to a lot of market changes and the increase in value, but a lot of it isn't because, like, the item was some incredible thing. A lot of it was because, they pumped trillions of dollars into the world, and people had more money, and then this stuff became more popular, and then everyone had more money, and this stuff's more popular, and everyone wants to buy stuff. Kind of everything kind of rose, and it wasn't just like I made some perfect purchases that I planned. And, just because you don't sell something and it goes up doesn't mean like you planned on it also. So I can't sit here and be like, all this Pokemon investing stuff. I do have, now I've been buying a lot more Japanese seal, but I do have like some like 2,000 Japanese boxes. As, past like 5 years I've been doing this. I haven't really ever had the chance to be able to mass buy a lot of Japanese boxes. You know, everyone else right now has the chance too, but you know, I have a little bit of like every set dating back to like a little bit before EV Heroes, and then you know, as it gets more and more modern, I have more and more and more, because you know, coincidentally, I had more money to spend, and they were more available, and they're also cheaper, and the yen is also down something disgusting, so kind of just makes more sense to buy whatever I can right now with certain things. But I'm not getting into that today, because you know, what I do versus what other people do, I don't really care. But where am I? Where was I actually before I went on my 19th tangent of the video? Is every single investing channel I've seen, none of them really sell. None of them have eBay stores. None of them have any stores realistically. And there are a few that do have stores that like come to my mind. You know, there's Mason Berry. He doesn't make Pokemon investing content, but he has actual physical TCG stores. So when he gives advice or when he shows something off, it actually has merit, to me at least. And I'm not just saying, oh, only the rich people have merit. Like, you know, people that are not as much money, or poor people or broke people, shouldn't be able to give advice. But it's just like, if you haven't walked the literal walk, it's very hard to take you seriously when you try to talk the talk, I guess. If you're not putting your own money on the line, why are you talking and like, you know, giving theoretical advice, and then you're playing with other people's monies and you know, monies. What was wrong with me? And that's what's kind of getting to me with these messages when people are like, yeah, I bought these, you know, I got into the Pokemon investing space. I'm on the Reddit, I'm on Discords, I'm on TCG buys and sales Discords and this Facebook group and that. And, you know, you can get into the space, you can get like really, really excited. And it's very hard to have self-control when you're so excited. And the same thing happens in like crypto markets and stock markets and everything. Everyone gets in. I mean, I'm sure people watching this channel, watching this video right now, bought crypto when it was super popular. They bought NFTs when they're really popular. I mean, I know people that have gained 6 figures in NFTs, and I know people that have lost 6 figures in NFTs, crypto, everything. Same thing with Pokemon, same thing with anything, really. Cars, I mean, there's cars that were $200,000, now they're $100,000. There's cars that were 20, and now they're like 5. There's cars that were 5, and now they're 20. It happens in literally everything. It's not just trading cards. That all these things happen, and market woes up and down, and people lose money, and that's pretty much what my whole brain stem is coming from. Like, to hear people lose money or lose value when they've worked very hard to get the money, oh, I don't know. I can't explain. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating to see it happen to people, especially just like, no one deserves to lose. There's going to be people like, yeah, they bought and, you know, they knew the risks. They knew that, like, whatever. But, you know, when I watch a video on some Pokemon investor, and, you know, you guys can say, Steve, you just hate watching. It's just making you angry. Like, you know, I basically am. And it's not that I hate the person. It's just, like, the content around it. And it's, like, it's not upsetting me, but it's, like, kind of just, like, upsetting me by the fact, and it kind of sounds very dumb when I say it like that, but, like, there could be, even if you help 10 people and you hurt one, I mean, it's still bad, in my opinion. But, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. You can't control everyone. You can't help everyone, whatever these people want to say. You know, I've heard many, many similar phrases like, you know, this is not financial advice, or this is not investment advice. I am not a financial advisor. And they say it all the time. And I say it as well, but I kind of say it as a joke, really. But, you know, I've heard them say it like seriously, like, you know, this is not financial advice, but I really do think these booster boxes are going to make a run over the next 12 months. So, you know, I'd probably buy them now before. It's like, that kind of just says, like, you just said this is not financial advice. And then you just gave financial advice. And I don't think it's punishable by law or by death or anything like that if you give Pokemon booster boxing advice. I don't actually know if there's any laws around it, to be honest. But, you know, it's just funny, really, to see it all kind of happen. Just like to watch, it's just silly, really. So, yeah, I mean, I'll probably finish up on this segment of whatever the hell I'm doing here, but it's just going through my head at the moment. You know, so I will have another video coming out, another whiteboard video. Let me get my pillow up. Oh, let me get more comfortable while I sit here and just write on sleeves. What do I know about anything? I'm just an idiot who sells cars. You know, I have no idea. But Yeah. I mean, someone did ask me the other day. Oh yeah, but what was I going to say? Actually, I'll get into that in a sec. But someone did ask me the other day. No, I was just about to not talk about that, and instead I brought it up again. Woo! I need to drink more. I think that'll make me more relaxed if I just started drinking like way more alcohol. I mean, I drink once every like 2 months, maybe. I should make it every like 2 hours. I should have one standard drink every 2 hours. That would give me 12 standard drinks a day. I think I'd be a lot happier, I think. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like the video if you want me to drink 12 standard drinks a day. Alcohol's expensive in Australia. Everything's expensive in Australia. What else am I getting at? So yeah, that's pretty much it on that whole Pokemon investing thing. And people messaging me, they've kind of bit off more than they can chew. They're finding out it's not as realistic, and then I'm watching kind of like a shift in these Pokemon investing videos because I watched some from months ago when everything was going crazy and everything's hype, and then I watched some in the last like 2 weeks, and I've heard the common investing phrase like be a shark when there's blood in the water, or some other shit like that. Like what was one today? There's like when others are fearful, be strong, or something like that. Yeah, the Warren Buffett quote, Warren Buffet, something. Eat a lot of food when there's lots of food on the table, or something like that. I don't know. There's a quote from the famous investor there, and yeah, this pen is just so much better to use than the Sharpies. So yeah, it's just sad, really. And I will be making the whiteboard video, bringing that up. I'm going to put every single thing in that could happen if you decide to, mass buy booster boxes. Things you can do to mitigate risks, and calculating EV. And EV is expected value. It's a gambling term, I guess, but I wouldn't say gambling. It's a betting term, which is basically gambling. But all these things you can do to mitigate the fallout of buying boxes, and how incorporating maybe a little bit of selling into it can ease your mind when you buy boxes, because you actually know that there's like a light at the end of the tunnel. Because there's a lot of people that hide just behind words. They're just like, I'm investing in all these. I bought these to invest in everything like that. What's going on? Sylvie, come here. What are you doing? My dog's gone silly. You want to say hi to the camera, Sylvie? She's fine. It's because I fed the cats, but I have to put the cat food on top of the table. Otherwise, she just goes crazy for the cat food. And now she really wants to eat the cat food that's on top of the table. So I have to pause this for a second and come back. But yeah, these Pokemon investment people can really hide behind their words. It's not financial advice, do at your own risk and all those other things. It's very, very, it's sad, really. I know they're doing it because they're exciting, and I'm not just coming up in here, and I'm sure I'll get comments like, look at this rich guy just shitting on people. I actually had a comment like that. It wasn't a message, it was a comment. It was like, it's easy to sell when you're rich. And I mean, I appreciate the comment, but I appreciate everything. But it's, maybe I'll go a little bit back into my backstory. I think that's where I was gonna segment, because I don't actually like being labeled as someone who's rich or wealthy or whatever, because I'm definitely not by any term. Like, if you compare me to every other 30-year-old, yeah, sure. But like, if you compare me to people that actually have money and where they come from, well, yeah, like, I got no idea. I might be good now, but you gotta remember that I'm basically unemployed. I work for myself and I sell trading cards. I've kind of capped out at the amount of money that's probably ever going to be with me, and it's probably just going to go down slowly over the next few decades, which I'm completely happy with, because money is not the stem of my happiness. So this is I'm actually happy with the amount I have, and if it goes down, oh well. If it goes up a little bit more, oh well. But I can talk a little bit about the backstory and how much I did have at certain times and how much I didn't have at certain times. We'll get into that, because I think that's important, really. I think I'm 30 now, right? Jeez, that's crazy to think of. And I probably only have a few years left, because I have very high cholesterol and all I eat is sweets and buttery goods, and I can't stop myself. But I'd rather be, I don't know, eating stuff that's good and feel good all the time, rather than not eating stuff that makes me feel good. Does that make sense? That's not health advice, by the way. See what I mean? You can just say dumb shit, and then you can just be like, that's not advice. Hey, it's all good. It's so, all right. So I started selling things when I was 20, right? I started selling, what was I selling? GameCube and Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo games when I was 20, right? So there's people watching this, and I've seen people that are 17, 18, 19. They're selling thousands of dollars a week, even $1,000 a week or $500 a week. I was like, so like, how am I going, Steve? You know, it's got such a long way to the top and everything. You know, I'm getting. I was like, dude, I started when I was 20, and I didn't really get into it until I was like 22. Like, you're doing fucking great. Like, none of this competing stuff. If you compare at any point, there's always going to be someone bigger than you and better than you. So comparing is just not even worth. Competing, completely fine. But if you're comparing yourself, it's really better. I compete with people every day, and I love it. I love competition. Every time I look up a card and I have a listing and someone else has a listing, I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. We're competing. We're competing for other people's money. We're competing for the buyer's clicks, and I love it. It gets me going. But I love this Doug Trigger card. Come here, it's so good. But you know, I was 20 when I started, and I was working part-time, 32 hours a week at a supermarket, and I was working for around, I would say 17 Australian an hour. I think that was my wage, something like that. So that was probably 12 US an hour, and that might be a high salary or low, not a salary, but a high wage or a low wage in the US. Who knows? But, you know, God, I'm sick of numbering these cards. I'm going to be honest. I hate this so much. Almost made a mistake. Almost made a mistake, but it's fine. I have to do it. You know, I think I've found a breakthrough on numbered sleeves, but we'll get there. I don't have any in hand at the moment. So, but if you guys know of any way to get mass already numbered sleeves, probably 1 to 50 or 1 to 100, I'm all ears. I'm big ears, Steve. I will gladly buy them. If you see any mistakes, also, please let me know, because Kim would be happy as well. All right, so yeah, so let's just imagine. I wouldn't even say little Steve because he was 20. Basically, I had my hand-me-down GameCube from my brother because he got one when he was younger. It was the family's GameCube, but you know, it was pretty much for him. I was too young for a GameCube. And he gave it to me, obviously, and I kept it in storage or whatever when I was going from house to house. Because, you know, I moved out of home when I was 15 or 16, one of those two. I moved into a, you know, one bedroom. Well, then I moved into a bedroom of someone that I knew. And I basically just rented a room from them when I was like 16. And I wasn't moved out of school yet. And, you know, I probably wouldn't say that was the easiest thing for me to do. But, I mean, I can't complain about how anything's gone because I am where I am now. So the hardest road, and I think I'm doing not too bad, even if I had it pretty bad. But I didn't literally let it ever get me down, and I was, you know, I wouldn't say at any stage that I can remember, regardless if I was like 17, getting $300, $400 a week, flat broke, or if I was, you know, 25 just getting through things, or if I'm 30 now, I have, you know, $500,000-$600,000 in just raw money, or just like, I guess if you want to add up assets and shit like that, you can call yourself a millionaire. I don't think any amount has ever made me like happier than previous. I think the only real happiness I can get is by being able to provide for the people around me and being able to buy stuff for the people I know, making their lives easier. That's pretty much it. And I guess, you know, I'm going to sound like a little bit of a, what's the word, dickhead when I say this, but, you know, I do get a little bit of a, I don't want to say ego boost, but like, you know, when I'm helping people online, it doesn't feel bad. I don't know what word to use. I don't want to say it gets me off when I help people, but, you know, I feel good if someone asks me a question and I can answer it with my expertise and the things that I've done, and it makes me happy. That's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Am I insane? Is that an insane thing to do? Probably. But so yeah, 17, I worked casual part-time up until around 20, started full-time at 22, 22 is when I started selling trading cards. So I was selling video game consoles and stuff like that, but the space became really, really competitive. I used to buy them from the UK and sell them in Australia. I kind of like learned a little bit about like import kind of thing, just like how hard it was to get stuff from overseas and everything. You know, usually I just bought on eBay, but you know, people, it's harder dealing with people from other countries and stuff. You learn how to talk to them, you learn how to explain things to them. You try to measure expectations on how long things take to get here, etc., etc., I guess. So I started selling cards in 2015, I guess. And that's pretty much, I was between 21 and 22. I also started full-time work when I was 22. And I was pretty much working full-time from like 18 to like 22. But it was like casual / part-time, but almost doing full-time hours. And you know, I didn't have a magnificent job. I didn't get through school or anything. I mean, I didn't go to university. I just worked at a supermarket. That's all I've ever done. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think, you know, there's a job for everyone out there. And quite frankly, I really enjoyed the supermarket job. And one of the main reasons why I left the supermarket job is not because I wanted to. Well, I mean, I did leave because, you know, my business in trading cards started to go off. But also coincidentally, you know, I had an injury, and I was struggling to walk, I guess, for like 6 months or something like that. And I decided it was a better idea just, you know, take my leave and then eventually just leave, because I wasn't getting as much happiness from the job, because I couldn't perform anywhere near as well as I did beforehand, because it hurt to walk. And I don't want to get into too much of my injury. It's a little bit personal in some personal areas, to be honest. But yeah, let's just say not a very good time for little Steve down there. Okay, not little Steve, but you know what I mean. Like little Steve, like I'm obviously Steve. That would be little Steve. But, you know, enough about that. Let me just cut that out of the video. But, so yeah, I had an injury, decided to leave work, but also, you know, cards were going pretty well back then. I think 2018. So yeah, that 2018 is when I was like, what, 24? So you can imagine. I mean, I think about it now, and I felt like I was in a good position, and I felt like it was the right thing to do. But being a 24-year-old, living by yourself, leaving your full-time salaried job that you've been working at for like 8 years to sell trading cards online full-time, which is kind of crazy. And that led me to go through a lot of experiences, which is what I tied into the start. But the experiences are important. Like when you give advice or when you want to talk about topics, experience is more important than just like looking at a sold listing. Experience with the items and how it feels to like own things. Because I've gone through turmoils and times where I had a lot of bills and things that needed to be paid, and I had to sell off a lot of things in a fast manner to be able to, you know, buy the next thing. Or if certain things happened in my life and I needed to pay like a car bill, or my car broke down, or this or that, or I wanted to buy something else new for my life, or, you know, whatever happened. I've had to go through those things as well, and have to like decide whether to keep certain Pokemon items or sell them. I feel like that's not an uncommon thing. And I think those experiences are what make us, but they also give a little bit of perspective when you're giving advice. In my opinion, I think they're really important. I don't know if you guys think they're important. I've said it like 100 times now, but I feel like they are. So, oh yeah. So that's pretty much like the long story short story of Steve, however I got here. You know, when people call me just this rich guy, it's kind of just like, yeah, but there are times where for about 4 or 5 years, between the age of like 18 to 23, I'd say every time I got paid, that was the most amount of money I had. Like there was no, like, that was it. Like when I got paid, that's the most amount of money, because every time I'd get any dollar in, it would go towards buying more stuff to sell, or just buying something stupid, or buying a new game, or upgrading my PC, or buying some stuff for my car. You know, it never, what was the, I didn't have any future outlook, and I had no one depending on me. So there was no reason for me to even hold any money, and I couldn't really afford to hold any money anyway. So what's the point? I didn't have more than $1,000 until I think I was like 22, and I worked like a full year. But I worked like a lot, and then I didn't work, and then I worked a lot, and then, you know, because of the tax, I got a lot of tax back because I was working full-time hours some weeks, and then some weeks I had off because of sickness, and I ended up owing more tax, and then they paid me out. I got like $2,500 at once from tax return, and I felt like the biggest baller. I updated my PC back then. That was amazing. That was the best thing ever. That was all good. What did I get? Oh, did I have like a 1070? I'm pretty sure when they first came out. Oh man, that was something else. But that's all I really cared about. I mean, and that's honestly all I still really care about. It's just like enjoying myself and trying to spend my time enjoying myself, regardless of however much. Because, you know, it could all go away. I wouldn't say in an instant, but, you know, in a few years' time, things can be crazy back to normal and all this card stuff's whatever. And I'm back to work, and it was all just a fever dream, really. And we went through, and I just have the memories. But, you know, that's why I try to make myself, my happiness comes from me, I guess. Even sitting here doing this, as much as this sucks, writing numbers on sleeves, I love doing this. I honestly don't think I could ever quit, because this is so easy for me just to sit here and be able to just, I mean, it makes it even easier, honestly, if I'm talking to a camera, because when you're by yourself, usually I'm watching a video, and this is how I've been managing to get through a lot of these Pokemon investing videos, is by sitting here numbering sleeves, because yeah, some of them are really bad. And no, I'm not shading the people that are making them, but it's just like, you know, just reading a TCG player chart, when you're watching that over and over and over again, God, that can make you go crazy. But that's not a big deal. But there has been some good things in the Pokemon scene lately. There's a lot of like more positive videos. There's a lot of like vendor stuff. I've been enjoying watching those. I think a lot of people have, and just getting to know a lot of the sellers, I think, is pretty important. The people behind the money, the people behind the cards. There's a lot of people that just want to talk about money and values and everything, and I think more hats off to them. But, you know, it is what it is. So it's good to see the more realistic side of Pokemon YouTube, I guess, because, you know, for a while there, we just had like booster box openings and ripping ships and all this other things, and now we have investing content. But now I think we're going more into more personable stuff, where, like, you know, people actually just, they're just normal people. Oh man, I'm really struggling down here with the numbers. Okay, stop there. But yeah, honestly, selling singles has been giving me so much joy that I was actually considering just like mass selling off maybe 90% of my graded card inventory, and then just buying more singles with it, and then just converting my graded card space to more single space, as I'm just enjoying that so much more. But I don't even know how or where. Like, you know, if you're in America, you can find whatnot sellers and mystery pack buyers and everything, people that buy stuff. They'll buy mass amounts of cards from you, but it's not really a thing here in Australia. I don't really know of anyone. If anyone knows anyone, that's one thing that I don't get to experience. I think a lot of people do ask me, like, what would it be like if you were a seller in America? And I don't know. Because I think I've said it before, but I've been pretty much like the #1 seller of single cards in Australia for like, God, I can't remember, ever since they brought out the ability to be able to look at it a few years ago. And my single store regularly goes in between like #2 and number like 7. So, you know, I'm pretty up there when it comes to selling singles in Australia. Now, there are people who sell more. The people that definitely sell more than me. I mean, it's not about the total amount, but if you're selling booster boxes, getting a high sales figure is not that impressive, in my opinion. Because it's just, you know, you're only making like $5 per box, sometimes even less, and you sell 1,000 boxes and you might make $70 after all the fees, and you get one return. But for me to make 70, sometimes I can find a few cards and pull cards out of a few lots, and I can make $30, $40 each. You know, like these fishermen's, I might even make like $5, $6, $7 each. I mean, I could probably make more of one of these than people can. And this relic hunter as well. Like, you know, I could probably, this is a beautiful artwork, by the way. This Himeno, beautiful. I could probably make more out of these than some people can make buying the newest booster boxes, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. That's something that these booster box sales investors don't really tell you. But, you know, I'm not going to sit here and gloat about it every time I make a profit, because I think it's disingenuous to the buyer. But I just, God, I wish people could just do it for like a week and then just see, like, oh man, there's just people that like buying cards, and if I can offer them cards, they're like happy. But that's pretty much why I made this channel. I just want to help people become sellers and help buyers become better buyers and smarter buyers. Because I say this all the time, but I say it to Kim at least. I'm pretty sure I've said this on YouTube, but I've said to Kim, you know, everything when I put videos out that help sellers, I'm obviously helping people that compete against me, but it's not really that big of a deal because, one, my life's pretty much set for like at least 2 decades. And two, all it does is benefit the buyers. And it sounds like a cop-out. And it sounds like someone who like sells a course. Like, you know, I'm just looking to benefit the buyers, you know, and then buy my free course. And then, you know, limited time deal, $79.99. But like, the only reason why I'm here in this scenario, probably, I mean, it sounds bleak, but like one of the only reasons why I'm probably still alive, like, is the fact that people want to buy cards and they want to collect them. I also want to buy cards and want to collect them, but there's a lot more other people than me. I'm only one, and there's millions out there that want to buy and collect. And if it wasn't for those people, who knows what could have happened to Steve, you know? And it sounds bleak and whatever, but life is life, and everyone goes through life differently. But if, honestly, all I really want to do is benefit the buyer. So if there's more people that like compete, it just means, you know, if there's lower prices or better services worldwide, and buyers can just get a better experience from everyone, that's job well done in my book. It might sound like a cop-out. What? I don't really care. What do you think? I mean, yeah. Buyers have put me in the position I am, so I want to do my best to be able to support them, even after I stop selling. Because, you know, I can't even sit here and explain. A lot of people, you know, be like, it was all me. It was all me. I did it all. But it's like, yeah, but every single person that bought off you obviously supported you to the goal. Some people will be like, oh, it's all me. But, you know, this is definitely not all me. This is like over 100,000 different unique people buying off me over a 10-year period. I mean, it's incredible, really. Like, I've been going through a lot of old emails, going through a lot of old sales. I mean, I used to sell a lot of English old back stuff. Old English Wizards of the Coast, I guess is what we call it. And I looked in like 2015. Oh, I was selling Venusaurs for like $11 on eBay Australia. Like $11 damage, like 15 played, like 25 near mint, and all this other stuff. And I remember, like, I was buying this stuff either on eBay US and then buying it here and then reselling it, or I was buying it from Troll and Toad and I was just buying all their played and damaged stuff. That's still why I'd still do the same today. It might not be off Troll and Toad, but I'll still seek out played and damaged stuff of like popular cards and then sell them just because I like having the popular cards. But it's not that easy to always get them in mint, so to be able to offer them just in any condition at lower price, you know, I just like cards in general, to be honest. But, you know, I remember I looked through those listings, and I think the first card I sold on eBay was a Venusaur. And that was for around $25. And that was just, I remember I have the email somewhere. I saved it, I screenshotted it. And the title is like Venusaur Pokemon card or something like that. It was like $25, $4 shipping. And I was just like, wow. You know, what would have happened if I didn't sell that card? You know what I mean? Like, I might have done it. I might have reached this position regardless, but what would have happened if I didn't sell that card? I hope the scraping of the sleeve on the ground doesn't make a lot of noise for the video, but I don't think it does. Yeah, I have so much more to do, but I don't actually. How long have we been going for? I feel like I'm wasting you guys' time. Almost an hour. I'm gonna go, you know, a little bit more. My throat's starting to hurt, and you know I don't want to hurt. What are we up to? We're up to 106. Kim put too many cards in these SKUs. I tell her keep it to 40, keep it to 50, and then she goes to like 150. You know, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But, you know, I've waffled on about a lot today. If you guys want more like this, let me know. I'm not trying to be lazy with the videos. I'm just like, I'm really just interested in making helpful videos. And I've made like every helpful video that I can like pretty much come along to. It's not like a Pokemon investing YouTube where like there's more helpful topics come up every week. I mean, there's only so many ways to skin a cat. That's the saying in Australia, at least. You know, so I have a few in the backlog that like I have ideas for that I'm making. This is, I guess, one of them. But you know, I mean, I just made the. I never wanted to get a lot of subscribers. I never wanted to get, because I really like the idea of having a small channel that's like condensed. People can ask me questions. I don't get spammed. I don't have to wake up to like 120 Instagram messages like I did that one day when I had my video go to like 70,000 views. And as much as going through all those and helping all the people with it was fine, it was a little bit exhausting. So, you know, I never planned. I'm on like 7,600. I mean, it's amazing. I never even thought that YouTube would actually pay money to me, really, because I never thought I'd be able to get monetized, but eventually I did. And you know, I think it's great that people can watch and like the stuff, but you know, I don't really know. I think a lot more non-Pokemon videos are to come in the future. I have a few ideas. I don't really know what. I don't have a very, you know, exciting life. And I guess people mainly watch me for the Pokemon and card content. So if I made non-Pokemon card content, it's whatever. But that might make me enjoy making videos more if I'm actually making videos about me that aren't about card content. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. And, you know, even if it's as simple as me food reviewing sweets, I don't know, that's something that I might enjoy. So, but that's if people want to watch me rather than watching Pokemon stuff, and maybe that's not what they want, and maybe the views won't feel worth it, but I don't really want to do stuff for views. I just want to make videos and document life, I guess, regardless if it's Pokemon card stuff or not. And if I can splash in a little bit of helping people, it's not a big deal. So if you're this far in the video, what do you think? Should I make more life videos that aren't about Pokemon and just post them up? And what should I do about them? And how do you want me to make them? Should I make them on another channel, or should I make them on this channel? I mean, I kind of feel like changing the name of my YouTube channel. I kind of wish I didn't name it Pokemon Steven, but you know, that was just the name of my store, and I just decided to do it. Sorry, I'm a bit tired today. But my hands always get covered in thing. Also, doing this stuff with the cards, my wrists are basically destroyed from probably around 25 years of playing video games. And it's just one of those things, really, that I can't do the same task for like 20 hours straight anymore. As much as I'd like to say that I do, I have to switch it up and I have to do something else. And it's really sad. I think that's one of my strong points. But while doing this card stuff, is a lot of people can't sit here and just concentrate on the same thing for like literally 10 hours plus. And that's what I've done a lot of the days over the past, you know, 5 years, ever since I've been technically unemployed. Self-employed. Let's not talk ourselves down here. Self-employed. I've just been, you know, doing this. And I feel like it's really, really, if you can kind of find a way to force yourself to be able to do something productive for an extended period of time, you will find yourself being much ahead of your peers, regardless of your age. It just takes a little bit of tinkering and figuring out what makes your brain itch and your body itch. Because I can tell you right now, there's nothing else I would like more right now than just to go sit on my other computer right there next to me and play some Counter-Strike, play some League of Legends, play some Apex Legends. What other games we got? Play some Genshin Impact, play some Honkai Star Rail, anything like that. I haven't played much of that game, but I did enjoy it a little bit. And, you know, I'd love to just go and just chill out and play some games, but that scratches a certain section of my brain that it never could with this. I mean, this is just something, you know, I've listed all these. I've sold a few of these, and I absolutely love it. I mean, God, every time I sell something, it's like, whew. Whether it's $1, $5, $20, it is an outstanding feeling when you sell stuff. And that's what I really, really feel sorry about, the people who like just want to invest in stuff, regardless if they hide behind the fact that, like, you know, it's for my personal collection. It's not really an investment. So if it goes down, it's okay. It's like, come on, what are we doing? Come on, Elmo, what are we doing? It's like, you know, the feeling you get when you actually make the sale is something that cannot be replicated. It can't even be discussed. I can't even explain to you how it feels. It's very similar to like getting a task done and a job well done. You're just like, oh my God, like it actually worked. Like you did it and it actually worked. You're just like, holy crap, that actually worked. You know, it's something every morning I wake up, I check the stores to see what we sold. And it's like, wow, oh yeah, that, oh yes, oh, people like that, oh wow, oh, it's like a constant feedback loop of like endorphins and everything. We have the golden goose that is Pokemon, and it is so enjoyable and it's so popular. And you can just get that feeling so much. And people choose to do the one thing that takes you away from getting that feeling. Kills me. But hey, not my life. It's fine. 18. God. How crazy are numbers? Who came up with the number system? They're an actual beast. Like, it doesn't even make... Who decided that 2's after 1? I mean, there's some mysteries. People have had lives that are just so much different to our modern day lives. Back in the day when they made all these symbols and they all had to build everything, they would have no idea. You know? Back in the day when we used to have to forage for everything, build everything with our hands. You know, every day was like live or die. Who would have known that not even 100 years ago, and then, you know, 100 years later, it's like, oh yeah, I get my paycheck and I buy trading cards. And then I just put them in my closet. Me too, buddy. This is crazy, the worlds that are different out there. Like, honestly. Yeah, there's a few more other videos I have scheduled. Other than that, not much from me. If there's anything you guys ever need, if you're still watching, I mean, I don't think there's anyone actually watching anymore. But if you still are, always feel free to reach out. I mean, I'm happy. If you need something explained and a video format can help you, just ask. I mean, I don't want to say most days I'm doing nothing, but like if I'm doing this, like literally writing on cards, I'm kind of sitting here waiting for someone to ask me something so I don't have to do this anymore. As much as I love it, I hate it at the same time. All right, is this correct? Whew, we're getting there. 38. I love these E-Series cards. Well, we got Voltorb, we got Growlithe, Vulpix. Also, we got some web cards too. That's nice. It's good inventory. Good long-term inventory. Because, you know, this stuff doesn't sell very fast because it's hard to get. Everyone who kind of wants this stuff might already have it. And it's just, you can't sell them really cheap. Otherwise, you know, you're waiting for a buyer of these cards. So, like, if you put the price down, it doesn't mean the card's going to sell. So it's kind of just one of those things. It's just, yeah, is what it is. They're just going to take a while to sell, but, you know, in 5 years' time, I'd love to have, I don't even know how many listings. Oh my God, I want to have over 1 million listings on my eBay store of single cards. I just want to have every card like ever made in Japanese form available for sale. And, you know, I just want to sell them. I just love it. Oh, can't explain. But I'm going to finish off this amount and wish you guys farewell because, you know, it's not fair for me to take up your time if I have nothing else to talk about. But I had a few things on my mind. But I still will make another video on that same topic I just made because this is not enough for the person. But I have some work that I needed to get done. So that might be either tonight thing or like a later on tomorrow or later on in the week. Because I have to like put it all onto the whiteboard and actually think about it for a little bit. Because when you're giving advice and it's actual proper advice, it should be good in my opinion. And it should be a little bit more structured, and I need to do a little bit of research on some topics first before I just go out and slander a whole bunch of people. I guess, I mean, well, fuck them, right? You know what I mean? All right. My name's Steve, and this has been Right Numbers on Sleeves with Steve. And I can't believe an hour's passed already, and I only did like 700, 800 cards, and I have so much more to do. But it's fine. It's fine. Have a great night, guys, or a great day, wherever you're from. Reach out on the Discord if you need help. Reach out on anything, really. Instagram or anything. Always here. I am forever in debt to the people that have supported me, so I will use their support to help other people out. My name's Steve. Have a great day.